Hi there, Lloyd Machedo. Speaking to you from LloydMachedo.com. Who is Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? All right. Quite some time since I put up these videos, I was, as usual, busy with work. And then after that, I had that, Ask Me Anything session where I was bombarded with bloody 3,500 plus questions. And then, back to work because obviously I need to earn money. I need to earn my daily bread, as they say. And finally, getting back to the groove of things with plenty of emails, plenty of updates, and plenty of stories. So I will be putting up a series of videos later on for the backdated stuff, which you will come to know very shortly. So let's move on with whatever is on the table. So I'll just clear up things as I am. So this is the first video of the series. Just if in case you're new to the channel or the video, timestamp is put down below, details are put down below, and when I break up this long video into shorter videos, check the description always. All right, and if in case you need to get in touch with me, just Google Lloyd Machedo, you'll get everything, and that solves the problem of how to get in touch with me. Send me a message or whatever else. So let's move on. Today's content has the following. You have a couple of recommended videos that I watched out of the many videos. I'll share with you some which I felt were there. Some were pretty shocking, some controversial, some you can't even believe. International news, stuff that will really make you think is like, what the fuck is happening in the world? You have UAE news. One is the bad, then the horrible, and you also have job-related news which will impact you. You have my opinion, which I do give. You have the economy in itself, and you have what expats keep sending me from time to time. That is you guys. You people send me this information. And last but not the least, I'll just encapsulate the end with the funny bits and a few YouTube comments. So this is what the video consists of. Let's move on to the main. Okay. The first thing that I want to tell you, the first thing which is really, really, I want to get this off my chest. You'll not believe this. In fact, I didn't believe this myself. Apart from the people who get in touch with me for jobs, for interviews, for resume rebranding, for CVs, I get, exceptional types of people who want my service. I've got underworld people. I've had criminals. I'm talking of my career that has spanned 20 years doing this. I've even had porn stars. I've even had sometimes like celebrities, but it's not every day that I get celebrities. And celebrities do have an ego and air about themselves. So I did get this really big Hollywood celebrity, which I thought was first a joke. I seriously thought it was a joke. And then it was like, okay, if you're really a celebrity, how about, video? Prove it to me. I did suspect that the person was a deep fake because I couldn't believe what I was watching. I want to keep it anonymous because of respect. Okay, you don't go around bragging without explicit permission because the person did tell me, it's confidential. So I was like, are you that? And I was like, wow. But remember this, even though I was starstruck for a few seconds, I don't show it. That's number one. The second thing is I always follow policy. Even if you're the world's most richest fucking guy, or you can be a celebrity, or you can be the sheikh or the king, it doesn't fucking matter to me because how does it benefit me? How does it increase my bank balance? How does it take care of my children? So I have my feet grounded. I am pretty realistic and practical about all these things. So the only time I did get wow was when I was, I think, in my 20s, and I literally saw Sheikh Mohammed walking face to face, just walking like this. And I was like, whoa, Sheikh Mohammed, that was the only time. Apart from that, after that, I've seen Amitabh Bachchan pass by. I've seen, his Indian film star. I've seen Sylvester, Arnold, that is during a red carpet from far, not. So I've never been like, oh, wow. So this one, when I did see him, I was like, ooh, okay. But then I was like, relax, end of the day, it's business. So the person wanted my service, my opinion. But here's the funny thing. The celebrity who's earning millions, even today earning millions, wanted my service for free because the person was a celebrity. And I was like, you want my service? Please go to my channel, pay the money, and then we will have the service. So I think the celebrity got offended because I think, the celebrity thought I'm doing this guy, this ordinary tattooed guy, an honor by showing my face. He should do it for free. He should be like, wow, sir, I'm a big fan of yours. It's a pleasure to do. No, fuck you. You can be a celebrity, whatever the fuck you are. It doesn't fucking matter to me. You pay me fucking money. I can eat food. I can feed my family. We can live. So you're earning millions. You pay me fucking my 1 hour charge. So because I said that, I think the celebrity got pretty upset and said, okay, thanks, bye. And, like more like a fuck off. So I was like, fuck it. So what the fuck do I care? Anyway, but still, I'm still like, ooh, So that was one. The second one was a very powerful person's relative. Once again, can't give you details. But this one was very powerful. Very, 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 very powerful. Very influential. Much more courteous. And paid me for my service. Okay, paid me for my service. But I was like, I couldn't believe that a relative of someone so powerful, a world leader, okay? So I was like, yeah, okay. The only other worthwhile thing to brag about was in this 6 months, I did have an Olympian who wanted advice on branding, personal branding, because he or she has been an Olympic competitor, has had respectable standings and wanted to commercialize and improve on the amount of money that they make. And the thing that surprised me about this Olympian is they spend a lot of money. They spend a lot of money on their PR, on advertising, on brand managers. So that was the only other thing. But, I didn't feel that was so great because it was not a, gold medalist, but Olympian many times in the championship final. So anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you. Okay, it's nothing to show off, but it's more like, I can share this. So the moral of the story, if I could just tell you, is when you're good at your job, when you're really good at something, you will get people who will come down to you, who will want your services. Never do anything for free. Like that Batman, the Joker, he has this line where he says, when you're good at something, never do it for free. In the same way, I would tell people is like, if you're good at something really good, and there is this really famous person, really amazing person, celebrity or politician, whoever, and they want your service. Okay, if you want to do it for free, that's your call. But I would say keep it professional. And especially when the person's richer than you, more powerful than you, more successful than you, you must take money because it's you keeping respect for yourself. And I'll tell you, many a times, these people who are very rich are surprisingly even more stingy, even more, they are horrible misers. They don't want to pay money because they're so used to getting things for free, especially, in my experience, especially celebrities and especially females. They just think that, because the world just oogles at them, and wow, every guy will be like, ooh, I'm such a big fan of yours, I'll do anything for free. So anyway, this is something that I thought to share with you. Anyway, moving on. The first one was an email by a viewer, and the person says, hi, Lloyd, this is whatever his name. I'm a regular viewer. My question to you, the day you left Dubai permanently, what exactly was going through your mind? Okay, for those of you know that I stayed in Dubai for 40 years of my life, and the day and the time that came for me to leave, it was a very difficult moment for me because, it's like a relationship that you have had for so many years. I mean, in fact, if you actually think about it, when you have a house that you stay for 5 years or more, when you have friends that you just share a relationship for even 1 year, it can be your roommate. There is a bit of sadness. So for me, it was 40 years of my life, my childhood, all the memories I was going to leave behind, and that also for good, permanently, because I knew for a fact my tattooed face, I'd never be able to come back again, because I was using the loopholes of the system to stay in the country. If I would leave, no way they would bring me back, especially being Islamic, and I knew that. I didn't know that I was going to make these videos. Now it's definitely a no-no, because I'll be jailed on the spot. So that was one. The second thing, I feel why it was a little bit more easier for me to just leave the country, not as difficult as, crying or heartbreaking, was because in 2011, if you check my video on YouTube, 2011, I was deported from UAE falsely by the employer that I was working for, who does fake degree certificates, who still does in UAE and the Middle East. I reported him to the authorities, to the FBI. Like the FBI, you have the CID. And, they didn't fucking care. They didn't bother. So, and it backfired because he hacked into my system and he found out that I reported to the police and the press. So he, put a false case against me, got me deported. Obviously it was, groundless. That's why I was able to come back within just hardly a few weeks. So when I was in India in 2011 and I tried to kill myself, that was when the first separation took place, and I thought I'd never come back to the UAE. So the second time when I did leave, and I actually did leave, that is 2016 end, my heart was really heavy, and I was like, it did feel very sad. It did feel sad. Deep down, it was like a moment you feel that you're saying goodbye to someone you deeply love. My heart was really heavy. I didn't as much as cry, but it did have the feeling of emptiness, saying goodbye to my apartment, saying goodbye to my room, the place where I stayed so many years. I had my dogs, I had my ex-wife, I had my friends. It was a really sad moment. And people who knew me came to drop me at the airport. They picked me up and they dropped me to the airport. So it was really, really a sad moment. Okay, my heart was really heavy, and I wish deep down I could go back to Dubai, just meet with my friends, just meet with the people that I knew, just see those memories, see those places, things that I did, the places that I, did exercise or went for walks or just lived there or saw that place. I just wish I could see it again, but I know I can never. So it's a void that you cannot describe. And, it's something that you'll only understand if you are in that similar position. So imagine for people who do it after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, they feel, sad. I was there for 40 years of my life, half my life, the first half of my life. So yeah, it's sad. It's something that you cannot describe. It's something that you can only express if you are in that position. Okay. So he says, like spending almost 40 years and you're leaving never to return back. Would you consider speaking about this when you make your next video? Well, I hope this answers your question while replying to everyone's question. And one more thing is, I'm actually keeping this very short. I'm not dragging this very long, because if I were to speak about this, the feelings of leaving UAE after 40 years, I think I can go on and on for at least 1 to 2 hours, because there are so many mixed feelings, so many. So I miss Dubai. I miss UAE. It was it was like my country. I wouldn't say it's my country. It was like my country, like my motherland, like my family, my everything. So yeah. So from emotions, feelings, and 100 other things inside your mind, could you share it all with your viewers? So my friend, I hope this answers your question. But yes, deep down, even today, when I see videos, I watch YouTube video clips of people in Dubai. Or, somebody, if I get a new client, I just tell them, can you take a video of that area and send it across to me? So just watching those places. I stayed in Sharjah. I lived in Sharjah throughout my life, near this Majaz area. So I just asked them, just can you take a video, just scan and just show it to me? And I just watched those videos full screen on my 27-inch, and I just sit quiet and watch it and just feel as if I'm there for those few seconds or few minutes and live those moments again. So yeah, it's sad, and it's even more sad that I can never go back. So yeah, I hope this answers your question, my dear friend. Thank you very much for asking. This was a nice emotional question. Okay, moving on to the next bit. This one is, these are the recommended YouTube videos that I thought would be nice, and some are Facebook videos. I want you to Google search BBC News videos. This is on Facebook. Mia Khalifa's interview about being a porn star, the impact that it had in her life, how it affected her, how people viewed her, did she regret this? It was a powerful interview, which I did think was really thought-provoking. You may agree with her, you may not agree with her, you may think she's fake, you may say that she's being genuine, but it's worth watching. I would say Mia Khalifa's interview in BBC News. The next one is, I was pretty surprised to see this. Obviously, when I was seeing the YouTube thumbnails, I saw this guy's face. He looked like a bodybuilder on a wheelchair, but then he had an Indian face. And when I clicked, I found out that this guy's name is Anand Arnold. He's an Indian bodybuilder who is on a wheelchair. He began bodybuilding at the age of 13, bagged his first title that very year. However, tragedy struck at the age of 15 when he was diagnosed with cancer on his lower spinal cord, and the surgery left him paralyzed. So this is a beautiful video of him posing at the Arnold Classic. Watch the video. Links, as usual, are put down below. And do have a look at his life. I mean, I feel this guy deserves a lot more recognition. Seems to be a celebrity of sorts, but it was nice to see someone from India, and that too, someone who has gone through such a difficult, horrible, life-changing disaster, but able to succeed and come out successful. The next one is, I was pretty surprised with this next video. This was actually loaded on Facebook, the Dubai Lad, that Facebook group or page. And what surprised me was, this is the typical prank of having a pie being, slapped on your face. But the thing that surprised me about this video was, this was actually shot in Dubai. Normally, such activities or such, social experiments or such pranks are not entertained in Dubai, or you can get jailed, as far as I know. However, if you see this, they actually smash pies or cream on these bystanders. The one thing you would notice is the victims who they pick up they look like guys who work as laborers, or they don't look like well-off people. They look like people who are poor, from the lower strata of society. And they do put a prank. And none of those guys appreciate the thing that is happening. And I personally found it very uncomfortable. Number one is, I don't like such videos. I don't like such pranks. I don't think it's funny. I really don't think it's funny when you mess up with people's, their life, or physically touch them. There are some things which are okay, like touching your hand and all that. Those are harmless. But putting a pie and cream on someone's face, not my kind of thing. But anyway, I'll put the link below. Just watch it and let me know your thoughts. It is obviously facebook.com, the Dubai Lad videos. So just check it out. This one was by Instagram. I found this. At first, I didn't believe. I thought it was just, they're just trying to make fools out of people. But then it seems that the ex-Pakistani High Commissioner got into a shameful situation because of fake news. He retweeted a story about a Kashmiri resident who lost sight when Indian forces shot him with pellet guns. In order to validate his story, an unknown prankster uploaded a photo you would see above, showing a man on a bunk bed in a hospital. So he said, see how Indians are killing the Pakistanis, and he sent this photograph. But it turns out to be a screenshot from a porno, other than famous actor Johnny Sins, aka the bald guy from Brazzers. Okay, so I found this pretty funny. I think the Pakistani media keep they keep making, even there was this UN High Commissioner, no, member of the UN from Pakistan, representative, who actually shared an image of what they thought was from Pakistan, a girl injured, but it turned out to be from a Palestinian girl. So pretty embarrassing stuff. I think Pakistan needs to invest into having a team that can research and give them proper facts. This video I found was pretty shocking as well. This is from YouTube. The title is India's Cow Vigilantes Targeting Muslims. I'll tell you, watch the video for yourself, and give me your thoughts. It's not me bashing up the Hindus or supporting the Muslims or whatever, but just watch the video, and it would leave you shocked to know that just because someone eats beef or someone eats food, which they normally do, you have human beings coming to your house, killing you, killing your family, harming your children. I found this really a very sad, shameful, and sickening video, but it's a video you must watch. Mind you, it's pretty disturbing. Okay, pretty disturbing. Then related to this was the making of Lynchistan inside India's deadly Gau Raksha network. It's a documentary by The Quaint. Once again, it is the atrocities towards minorities and Hindus who believe that if you have beef or whatever, you can kill someone, and it's okay to kill someone. So pretty shocking. I thought you should watch this video. And yes, this one is the last, if not the final one. This is my video that I uploaded, which I think many of you have seen, is the Pakistan's science minister who trolls India's space shuttle. I put up this video. I gave my thoughts, and I did get bashed up by a lot of people. I'll be putting up, I'm just waiting to collect all the comments. I did get bashed up by a lot of Indians who got very angry because they're very passionate about India. But at the same time, I was pretty surprised to see even Pakistanis giving their views on whether the Pakistani science minister was right or wrong. So do watch the video and give me your thoughts. And I'll feature your comments, good, bad, or ugly, whether you bash me up or whatever. The best comments, I'll feature it in the next video. Okay, now let's move on to the international news. This one I thought was pretty surprising or shocking, maybe because I'm not an American citizen and I'm still getting to understand how things work in the West. So this one was Alexandria Cortez being issued a court order. Okay, now who is Alexandria Cortez? For those of you who do not know, she is often referred to AOC, that is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Okay, AOC. She is an American politician and activist who serves in the U.S. representative of New York's 14th Congressional District. So I'm not very much aware of America and American government and laws and whatever. Okay, so now it seems that she has a court ruling against her. And I find her a very polarizing character because she has her own views, some of it which I totally disagree with. Like, for example, she's against Trump's immigration policies on illegal immigrants, which I find pretty, if people are breaking the law and entering the country illegally, you want the country to take care of illegal immigrants. That's number one, which I totally don't agree with. But the second thing is when Amazon wanted to open up set up a big factory or industrial plant over there, headquarters, she was against it. I don't know for what, why, I don't know whether she was supporting people or she was saying that it's going to take away jobs, but I found that absolutely stupid. Okay, so these are the two issues. And yes, she has a back and forth with Trump, which obviously she can never win. So, so she is, and given the fact that she's so young, okay, this is what I admire about her in a way, is like she's so young, at the same time being a girl, being a woman, she's facing all her haters or critics. So there I have to appreciate. Okay, so this lady, female, she has over 5 million followers on Twitter, 5 million. So she's like a celebrity in itself. So in this Twitter handle, she shares information about congressional hearings, about legislative new updates. She engages in debates related to policy issues, and she also invites input for legislative matters. Okay, I don't know how she manages 5 million followers, but I guess she may be having a team. So like every other platform, obviously you'd have people who love you and people who hate you. For me, with my few followers, around 500,000 in various social medias, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, website, emails, whatever, I find it hard to manage all of it, okay? Because I do it alone. So out of the 5 million, and let's assume 50% like her, 50% hate her, she only blocked 20 accounts, 20 out of 5 million. And the accounts that she blocked were people who not only harassed her, but maybe gave her threats. Like, for example, an account named Daily Caller, who posted fake nude photographs of her, commented and said, check this out, maybe something like that, because obviously it as per this article, it seems they asked people to check it out. They tagged themselves. So people, obviously 5 million followers, they would get an update. Oh, this is her nude photograph. So they would check it out. So diverting a bit of traffic. So they were taking advantage and leveraging on her fame. So she blocked those 20 accounts. Now, because she blocked those 20 accounts, out of 5 million, Columbia University's Knight's First Amendment Institute sent AOC a letter stating that she was violating the Constitution's First Amendment. That is by blocking critics on her AOC Twitter account. Because it seems for those who hold a public office and you being a public servant of sorts, you cannot block your critics or you cannot block anybody. So the First Amendment experts told the Insider that it's unlikely a court would accept the legal distinction between a personal and government Twitter account at face value. Instead, would examine whether in reality the account was used for government purposes. So as far as I see, given the fact that she uses it to communicate government updates, policy matters, legislative happenings, I doubt that she would be allowed to block these 20 accounts. But the reason I share this with you is to tell you how shocking I find that someone who is, so powerful, who has millions of followers, even if you block one person, forget 20, even one person, like Donald Trump tried to block one person, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. So I find these American rules slightly, I'm like, ooh, wow, you can actually do that. So do you support what the court is doing and saying that you cannot block people? Or do you think this is something that is really good, that you should allow people, your critics, and even those who harass you, keep them? If someone breaks the law, then, report to the police? Because I find it overwhelming when I sometimes see the amount of hate. Not that it affects me. I'm like, these people actually have the time to keep writing, because some of them just keep commenting on every possible video, and they write, sometimes they write pages and pages of hate messages. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think the government is right? Or do you think AOC, Alexandria, what's her name? Alexandria? Yeah. Whether she has a right to her privacy. Next one is, this one is from the newsminute.com. Cognizant. Cognizant is an American multinational company. It's pretty well known in United States, especially in India. Okay, you would see many IT professionals working with Cognizant. So it is an American multinational company. I think started off by some Indian guys. I can't get the name right now. So they provide IT services, digital technology, consulting, and operational services with 288,000 employees in 166 countries globally. And they're very big in India. Now, the reason I bring this up is because the CEO, Brian Humphreys, he gave a shocking interview where he said that they're actually going to downsize or they are going to be reducing overheads or cutting down on employees. One of the reasons being is they were losing out to rivals Tata Consultancy Services and Infosys, and they could not operate due to their higher margins and higher costs. In the exact words of Humphrey, he said that we need to be draconian with the cost structure and use those savings to fund the future. In almost 25 years, this IT giant was envy of its rivals, and it kept posting impressive results. This, it seems, is the first time a company like Cognizant is actually thinking of terminating people. So this should give you an idea of how the market is moving forward. Next one is, that guy is Salt Bay, the guy who puts cuts the meat in a very stylish manner. Salt Bay goes in a very stylish manner, and then he puts salt this way, and everyone was like, oh wow, this is so once in a lifetime kind of thing. So this guy, Salt Bay, his boss, his big boss, not him, his big boss, owner of Salt Bay restaurant chain, plans to sell off a couple of his assets. He had around 800 million euros worth of assets, due to which he had billions of dollars of debt. So he's planning to reduce it. His name is, the name of his holding is Shah, I hope I get this right, Shah Inc. Dogus Holding. I don't know if I got it. Shah Inc. Dogus Holding. In the last 10 years, Shah Inc. Dogus Holding, whatever holding, they invested around $9 billion worth of money, or 33 billion dirhams, to help grow restaurants, entertainment outlets, marinas, car distribution business all over the world, especially in Turkey, to kind of revive or provide employment opportunities to the local citizens of Turkey. But now, due to the weak lira and the economic changes and the recession that is affecting globally, he is planning to dispose of nearly 800 million euros or 3.25 billion dirhams worth of assets, because he wants to cut down his 2.3 billion restructured debt, bring it down from 2.3 million to 2 million, and then further by 1.5 billion by next year. And I checked, the owner is Ayhan Sahin. He's worth $2 billion. So you see, even the rich, they are being affected by this. Like example, even what is happening in Hong Kong, the rich, the businesses that earn income, they are being strongly affected by what is happening around the world, the economies. So yeah, and when they get affected, it affects people who are working for these jobs. Then in terms of India, I found this really shocking. This was like, are you serious? India? It was that shocking for me. India is offering Russia $1 billion loan on credit to help develop the Far East. So I was like, whoa, India, does it really have $1 billion? Or is it like, you take my products, goods and services and pay me later? So I think that's more like it, like you take the products, goods and services and pay me later. So Modi really is a smart cookie. He said this to Putin, and I'm pretty sure Putin, being the smart businessman that he is, he would hold Modi accountable. And I don't see anything wrong in doing good business with something that will benefit you and the country as well. So Modi, good man, good boy, or whatever, good guy, good, smart. Coming to the UAE, now these are bits of UAE-based news, which puts UAE on the map. So the first one is, UAE is a good, bad, ugly brand image. The first one is obviously bad. This is VA News-Republic.com, which speaks about UAE rights activist Mansour, who is currently on a hunger strike. Now, you need, for those of you who do not know about him, he was the activist. He is a poet and he is a painter, I think a poet and painter, who got jailed because he expressed his opinions on social media. Now, what they say is that he was jailed for 10 years in 2018 for criticizing the government on social media. So they didn't give him a fair trial. They just jailed him. They didn't allow him to meet his family, denied him his rights, denied him a lawyer, denied him lots of things. So because of which he went on a hunger fast. That was some time ago. I think a couple of years ago. I'm not too sure when this was. But now he has gone on a hunger strike again. Oh yeah, he went on a hunger strike 2017. Because he was not allowed to meet his family, he was not given a fair trial, so he went on a hunger strike. So human rights activists and those people who are keeping a tab on him, they bought his condition out in the public. Yes, he's an electrical engineer and poet, among the 5 convicted of insulting the UAE rulers, something you should not do. He did this in 2011. And, 2011 he did it, but he was pardoned. He was arrested again in 2017 when he was in his home of the Ajman of Emirates for allegedly publishing false information and rumors. And as per the legal case against him he was promoting sectarian and hate inciting agenda using social media to harm the national unity and social harmony and damaging the country's reputation. So he was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment and fined $270,000. That's $1 million dirhams. So now he's going on a hunger strike and he just wants justice. So not a very good thing for UAE in terms of its public image, especially where Expo 2020 is happening. And another one was GulfTimes.com, not Gulf News, GulfTimes.com. They are speaking of the crimes against humanity, people who UAE considers as a threat, or people whom they consider a risk to security or to its country or to the rulers or whatever. These people just vanish. They vanish. Nobody knows where they are. Are they alive? Are they dead? So this was another article that was put up 30th August 2019. They have stated, read the article if you want, a couple of missing people. And for those who have stayed in UAE for many years, like myself, you know that there are many, many cases like this. Many business people, many powerful and influential guys who just vanish. And if you step on the toes of the powerful people, or you get into a ruckus with someone very influential, you'll just vanish without a trace, and that's the end. So this article addresses that issue. And I think this one is the last one about UAE in the international platform. UAE in the DeccanChronicle.com. It says that Kashmir is not, the Kashmir issue does not concern the Muslim community. So United Arab Emirates snubs Pakistan. Now, as for this article, according to News International, some Pakistani officials sought UAE's support. So UAE's ministers, they requested them, why don't you interfere in this matter and put pressure on India. And obviously their trump card would be India is, conducting these unjust acts towards Muslims or towards minorities. So the UAE representatives, they made it very clear that this matter is not a Muslim versus, it's not against the Muslim community. It is between India and Pakistan. It's a matter that has continued for many, many years between these two nations, and they need to sort it out between themselves through dialogue. Pakistan reached out to many countries in the Middle East, including United States, China, and United Nations, asking everyone to interfere. But then again, nobody did anything. Now, I'll tell you, I'm sure you know this, that when it comes to business, when it comes to those who are beneficial to you, you'll never shoot the hand that feeds you. Because if you do, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So it's much more beneficial for a country to do business with India than to do business with Pakistan. And Pakistan right now has many pressing issues like the struggling economy, the rising inflation, the poverty, and they even have taken a loan from International Monetary Fund, and they are on the verge of bankruptcy. So I say, even if India was wrong, even if they are wrong, I'm not saying they're right, even if they were wrong, there's a lot more benefit for a country to do business with India than to do business with Pakistan. So these are the bits of news about UAE and the international media. Now UAE in terms of business. This one was vanews-republic.com. It says that Emirates Airlines, the world's largest A380 operator, begins dumping and cannibalizing its planes. Now, for those of you, obviously, you should know this. A380 is one of the largest ever, aircraft from Airbus. So Emirates Airlines, at every event, at every air show, kept scooping up deals and kept bragging about that they were signing billions of dollars worth of deals, like 20 aircrafts, 60 aircrafts, 15 aircrafts, 25 aircrafts. Every air show they kept signing, and the whole world was watching with shock and awe. Is like, how is this small little emirate, that is Dubai, being bigger than United States, being bigger than British Airways, being bigger than all the other airlines combined? So obviously there was always that nagging doubt that they are doing this because of the support of the government. So, which Emirates Airlines totally denied. They said, no, we are running the business in a very smart way, in a very intelligent way. We are doing it in a way you're not doing it. So no matter how much experts analyzed, overanalyzed, and overly analyzed Emirates Airlines, they were not able to find out the missing link due to which they were able to operate so profitably and make so much money. Well, Emirates Airlines stated that the reason we're able to do this is because Dubai is a central hub. We are providing exceptional service. Our pricing strategy is smart. And we are getting a lot of tourists who are coming down to Dubai, and we are offering them excellent packages through the government. But we are not taking any money from the government to support the airlines. That was what they claimed, as they say. That is how Emirates Airlines grew so rapidly, as per their claim, that they were managing the business very intelligently with the best talent, best service, best everything else. Other airlines globally said that, no, you're getting help from the Dubai government. So anyway, that being aside, which is never ending, an argument, Emirates Airlines, because of its global vision, when the Airbus A380, the biggest aircraft, came out, almost 500 seats, they said, we will buy that. And all of the airlines, they were only buying one or two, maximum, not many. Emirates Airlines ended up buying, I think, 100 or 112, or they literally decided to purchase 250 in total. Okay, 125. I don't know the exact numbers, but right now Emirates Airlines has 112 of these 500-seat aircrafts, these behemoth giant aircrafts, and almost half of the 250 that Airbus will deliver before Airbus shuts down will belong to Emirates Airlines. So Emirates Airlines, even though it was the leading airlines, the number one airline, and they were the biggest supporters of Airbus, now even they have withdrawn that kind of support. They tried to show a brave face for very long, saying that, no, you can do it if you're smart in planning, if you really focus marketing, wanting to show bravado, but now they can't do it. As per Motley Fool, the airline's profits are way down. Emirates Airlines, 3 years earlier, that is, now it's 2019. In 2016, their profits were, they earned $1.9 billion, out of which they had an 8.4 profit margin percent. 2019, it seems they made a profit of 237 million, the profit margin being only 0.9%. So there is 8.4%, which was there is 0.9%. That's less than 1. So the reason for this sharp decline in profits, it was because of the fuel costs, which have jumped to 56%. And that occupies almost 32% of its operating cost, which is the largest item. And among all the aircrafts, the A380 is a gas guzzler. So it really takes a lot of fuel. Now, you need to keep in mind that when you have such a large aircraft, you must fill in all the seats. If the seats are not filled, then obviously you're operating on a loss. And to keep, filling up this entire aircraft of 500 seats with the people, it's not very easy. Small aircrafts, lesser operating costs, lesser fuel, and it's easier. So it would have been much more smarter for them to have smaller aircrafts with lesser capacity, so your targets are less. But they decided, no, we'll take big because we have so many passengers, we'll make more money. However, they didn't factor in that with more money comes more cost. And if you don't achieve your targets, well, you go in a loss. And that's one of the challenges most of the businesses go through, or business owners. They always look at life in a very positive sense. Everything is going to work out. We're going to make big money. Everything is going to be good, good, good. So they keep expanding. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. And that's the story with all global brands. So Emirates Airlines is now getting rid of A380s, and they're not selling the aircrafts because there is no second-hand market for these aircrafts. They are going to scrap the parts and use them and recycle them within the other aircrafts. That's as far as this news goes. Sticking with Emirates Airlines, you also have aerotime.aero, EERO. It says Emirates Airlines reshuffles top management. You have three main guys. That is Adil Al-Reda, who is the Chief Operating Officer. Now he is the Chief Operating Officer. Adnan Kazim, who is appointed as Chief Commercial Officer. And Sheikh Majid Al-Mullah, who is the Divisional Senior Vice President of International Affairs. They had a different position. Now they are promoted to these following positions. This management shakeup has taken place because of the challenges in the economy. And Emirates confirmed the replacement of the CCO, that is Adnan Kazim, is appointed because it was empty since Thierry Antinori. He left Dubai-based airlines, that is EK, Emirates Airlines, abruptly in May 2019. And like I've told you in my previous videos, when the top management leave designations or they change companies, it is because they know a recession is looming, because their package is based on performance of the company. So when they know that they are fighting a recession or the economy which is not in their hands, the safest thing to do is to resign from the company and take up another job, another role, where at least for the next 1 year, you're not put under tremendous pressure, rather than having the pressure of being in the company or the position for very many years. So Adil Al-Rada, Adnan Kazim, and Majid Al-Mullah, they have spent 31 years, 27 and 23 years in Emirates. That's a long time. So major news. And also there was this other bit of news that Dubai has stopped work in the new airport, the airport which was, Dubai Central, Al Maktoum, which I've spoken to, I think, in numerous videos, in my past videos, that Dubai Central is a disaster. They have spent millions of dollars on building this huge, massive airport, which is right far away from the city, which is almost like 1 hour's drive, that is without traffic, and there's nobody there, there's nothing happening there. The whole place, it's like 50 football fields large, and there's not a single soul, not a single passenger. You have only people standing. It's like a dead ghost town. So in my previous video, I spoke about the fact that, the amount of electricity, the amount of money that was spent for maintenance, for cars, for employees, for people working there. They are bleeding. They are hemorrhaging cash. So they have stopped. The previous article that had come out was they stopped work officially there. But this article by Arabian Business states that Emirates Airlines will remain in Dubai International Airport for the next 10 years. They're not going to go to DWC, that is Dubai World Central. They're not moving there. Initially, when the boom period took place and when they announced that Maktoum is going to be the largest airport, they had made the vision by, I think, 2010 they are going to shift. Then once they came close to 2010, they said, no, we'll do it in 2020 when Expo 2020 is launched. We are going to do it that time. They had made big plans, big announcements, which Dubai normally does. Now when 2020 is coming and they know a few more months are left, they're like, oh, we need to save face. so let's make an announcement and say, not 2020, it's going to be 2030. I remember very clearly they had made it very explicit that when Expo 2020 is going to come, they are going to make Dubai World Central as the international hub for Expo 2020. So once again, they have put their foot in their mouth, and now they can't, they can't deliver what they have promised. So these were some of the bits of news with regards to Emirates Airlines and Dubai. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think the recession is impacting Dubai, is impacting Emirates Airlines? And if you're working with Emirates Airlines, do send me an email or WhatsApp message anonymously. And obviously, I'll share the information if you want me to share. Coming to the news, now these are the job-related news for UAE, in Dubai, in UAE, in Saudi, whatever, if you're in UAE or the Middle East. These bits of news does impact your life. So what are the news? The first one is UAE is now offering more jobs to Emiratis. It seems even the universities, they are offering courses to encourage students to take up jobs. And this is also pressure by the government to ask private sectors to take in more Emiratis. Now, I see it as force feeding, because it is much more cheaper to get someone who is from India, someone who is from Philippines, Pakistan, the third world countries, because those people are like, they're literally scared. They are afraid to lose their jobs. So with that fear factor, they would work, they would put their heart, their soul, they would work their ass off. But when you get someone who is a citizen of the country, who has a fuck you attitude, who's I'm local, my country, and they ask you 10 times more the salaries which they expect. I mean, you're killing the private business owners, you're killing the private companies just to fulfill the greed of these incompetent youngsters. As it is, giving jobs to expatriates who are born and raised in UAE itself or the Middle East. They have a I know it all, I'm the Google generation, I'm super smart, I have amazing confidence, but I have no work experience. They don't give a fuck. So giving them a job itself is a big headache. Now, forcing companies to take Emiratis in the private sector, they are hurting the business community. So as for this article, it seems Rashid Al-Shamsi, who is the manager of Alumni and Career Students Career Office at Zayed University, says 80 of our students managed to get jobs in the last 100 days. So I see it as bad news. But for the economy, I guess they want to show a little bit of good news. Then you also have Sheikh Mohammed stating in this Arabian Business article that he commits to investing in UAE's younger generation on education training. They provide, free education. They try to provide world-class education by getting the best tutors from overseas. But as my experience and being in touch with global instructors, professors, they say teaching the Emirati youth is it's a disaster in itself, because these kids, their parents pamper them, their parents support them. They can't even shout that, they can't even say anything to them, and they find it very tough to discipline these kids. And most of these young boys, I mean, they have their happy moments where they spend time together. It seems they even go to the washrooms together, and they wonder why they're going in pairs or together. Well, I'll leave it to your imagination to decide. Anyway, the UAE ruler is investing in the future of his youth. However, for their college, they never do it in Dubai. They never do it in UAE. They always go to the UK or the US, because that is where world-class education is. And another article that came out is Sheikh Mohammed gets the ball rolling on Emiratisation. He puts a letter stating that he wants more Emiratis to be in the workplace. Sheikh Sultan Al Qasimi, who is the ruler of Sharjah, he provided opportunities for 400 fresh graduates. I think that was in the government sector. But Sheikh Mohammed wants to make sure that people are absorbed even in the private sector. So some of the most favored areas where it seems the banking sector, they also have HR jobs. That is why I've always constantly told, if you are an expatriate and you're looking to get into HR or looking to get into any of these multinational companies or even government, especially government supported companies, they prefer to take Emiratis. The only point where they'll offer you jobs if you're an expatriate is if you're really good at your job, because I have helped a couple of people get jobs through their resumes or training for the interviews. They have got jobs, but it's an explicitly known fact that the packages that would be offered to them versus the packages that would be offered to locals, you would always see the Emirati local getting 3 times more than what you're getting, or at least double, even though they're either junior than you, or they know less than you, or they're not as good as you. But then again, you can't do anything because this is their country and this is what they, it's like play the game with the way the rules are made. So Sheikh Mohammed sends another letter saying that he wants more jobs. 2018, 2017, they had made 6,000 Emiratis get jobs in the workforce. 2017, you had 6,000 jobs. 2018, 20,000 jobs. That is the following year. This year and the next year, they are hoping to reach 610,000. 6,000, 20,000, 500,000 plus. I think it's ridiculous. Personally, I see people getting jobs, leaving jobs, getting jobs, leaving jobs, getting jobs, leaving jobs. So it can be out of the 6,000, I would say at least 4,000 leave their jobs, check other jobs, and they prefer working in the government sector because they get bonuses every year. I know one of my friends who was working, a local guy who was working for Dubai. He used to get three months salary as a bonus. Okay, he used to always wait for that. And they would get many times during the year, 3 months salary. Just imagine you getting 3 months salary just for within a month, just because they're doing well. And they only give this to locals, okay? So that is why they prefer working in government sectors. Then they also give them holidays. They also have very flexible timings. You report to work early and you leave early. So 6 hours flat, you can go home. And obviously, working in the government, a lot of perks, a lot of benefits, health, family, which a private company cannot give. So they prefer working in the government sector. So this is what is happening where UAE is concerned. And yeah, last but not the least, this one I found pretty surprising, but I've coupled it with the UAE-based news because I think it's going to have a domino effect. This one is stating that Oman is actually offering citizenship to expatriates, which I found really shocking. I don't know if this is happening from quite some time or is it just a new decree or rule that has come out. As per this article, it seems that expatriates who have been living in Oman for 20 years and above, you can apply for a full-fledged Omani citizenship. But however, with the final decision of the Ministry of External Affairs. Now, here's a big question. When an expatriate becomes an Omani citizen, does he get all the rights? Does he get few rights? Is he a citizen or is he a quasi-citizen or is he, like, there are levels to citizenship, like you're a pure citizen or you're a, level A citizen, level B. I have no much idea or information about this. However, the article says that an expatriate can become an Omani citizen. Now, why I find this hard to believe is because Omanis are Muslims. They are Arab Muslims. Now, I find it pretty surprising to even imagine you would have a Hindu become an Omani citizen. You would have an atheist become an Omani citizen. You would have a Christian become an Omani citizen. I mean, if they start doing that, their culture, the Arabic culture, would get eroded away, which they absolutely do not want. They don't mind their religion spreading to other countries. They don't mind their culture spreading to other countries, but other people's culture spreading to their countries, that is a big no-no. They're not very comfortable. Sticking to this article, it seems that all you need to do is fill up the procedures with the required documents. What are the documents? The documents are a copy of the passport, including a valid residence visa, details of your first entry into Oman. Obviously, you need it from day one till whichever day. copy of your ID card, copy of your resident card, copy of your marriage. Now, even marriage is included in this. If, let's say, if you're an expatriate, but you're not married to an Omani citizen, then it's 15 years. 20 years. But if you're married to an Omani, okay, you're married either male or female. Obviously, it's male to female and female to male. It's not male to male or female to female. Then it's 15 years. So if you're married, 15 years to one of the citizen. If you're not married, it's 20 years. Then copies of your passport, and if you're married, marriage contracts, passports of your spouse and children, birth certificates, and evidence to prove that you have stayed in Oman for all these years. And the charges are Omani Riyal 600, that is if in case you've been 20 years, and Omani Riyal 300 if you have married someone. So this is as per the news. If any one of you is based in Oman and you have any information whether this is being extended to everyone, or you know anyone who has got the citizenship, or there are different levels to the citizenship. It's like A grade citizen, B grade, or C grade. Just let me know. Would like to know what you think. But as far as I see it, I think they would keep this as an exclusive membership only for the rich, the famous, the powerful, or Muslims, or anything that would benefit the country, not the poor, not the meek, and not the people from other religions. This is my experience. This is what I strongly believe. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. You let me know. Next one, moving on to the UAE-based news. This is the business community of UAE, which would affect employment, which would affect you. That is, if you are an employee or an expat or a business owner. The first one is, this one has been making rounds, and I got this message from a gentleman who sent me a WhatsApp message with this link stating that, bro, make a video on this cause the owner of the hospital is Mr. Shabir. He is a Mallu, who is a Keralite. Mallu is Keralite. That's a term that they use for people from Kerala. I know because my father was Keralite, yeah. I don't know if he's still alive. Okay. He's the brother of Mr. M.A. Yusuf Ali, one of the son-in-law of Yusuf Ali, owner of Lulu. I don't see it as a big deal, even if Lulu is a billionaire. You can have relatives who are not so successful and poor, or even if they try, maybe families are not very close. So I can have a cousin, if I'm successful on, let's say, social media, and my cousin is not at all known, so that has nothing got to do. So you do have, like Obama has his relatives, his brother, who are not successful, who are nobody, not known. So that has nothing got to do. They are different grown-up individuals. So anyway, as for Gulf news, it seems the Universal Hospital in Abu Dhabi, which was very popular, very, very popular with people of Abu Dhabi, is closing down. They had a 200-bed multi-speciality hospital. It has stopped accepting patients, and even if you call them up, it seems that they get a pre-recorded message. We are sorry, we are unable to take your call right now. Please call us later. But then again, even if you call them later, it's the same thing. As per the people who are working there, as per this report, it seems salaries have not been paid on time. They were having a lot of financial difficulties. They have not paid a lot of their suppliers. And this has been going on for a couple of months. And they kept themselves in the red without telling the world. But then again, when the shit hit the ceiling, things became really bad. That time they decided, okay, we can't continue this anymore. Let's put it up. And a lot of, it seems, staff have not been paid salaries. Long-time personnel who have been working with this hospital for many, many years, they said they just hope that there was going to be a peaceful resolution to this, that they get their salary, that they get their end of service gratuity, and you go your way, I go my way. However, the Department of Health, the government said, if they didn't pay your salaries, well, that's not our problem. Sorry, that's not the area where we only focus on health and violation of health-related matters. So, well, it's very typical, because this is what happens with employees who work there. The government, they bring out lots of rules, but they are unable to actually implement these rules, and this is a classic example of this. Speaking about governments, the UAE government getting involved in business, you have Gulf News and Arabian Business that speaks about downtown Dubai bans. Downtown Dubai is where the Burj Khalifa, the Dubai Mall, it's this posh neighborhood that has been created that looks like if you're traveling to Europe, you're traveling to Italy, It has a theme kind of atmosphere, nicely made infrastructure, beautiful roads, beautiful parks. I mean, it's a really nice, really beautiful town that they've created. And many people like to visit the place, especially holiday makers. So now it seems that EMAR has sent out a circular, and I did get this circular from one viewer of mine who stated that they have issued this circular to all the people in downtown Dubai, especially those who were renting out their apartments to holiday, folks who are coming for a holiday, and they would rent out their apartments or their place. That because of the disturbance and inconvenience that these tourists were creating for people who are like the regulars, who are like the normal people who reside there, the residents, they have decided because of the number of complaints that now it's going to be prohibited, it's going to be banned. None of these holiday makers can come there. Now, according to Vinayak Mahtain, CEO of BNB Middle East, an operator, he said, we don't consider a notice from the developer, we don't consider notice from EMAR a legal document that forbids us from short-term rental. The governing authority to ban such a rule or create such a rule is DTCM, that is Department of Tourism and Commerce Marketing. So they have not made any statement. So in other words, fuck you, EMAR, we're going to do what you want. But as far as I see it, EMAR is the landlord. EMAR is part of the government. You can't fuck around with the landlord, and you definitely cannot fuck around with the government, any government business. So on one hand, I understand what the operators are saying, because they spent millions of dirhams to make sure that they would market Dubai as a global destination and attract all these tourists who made plans well over 6 months in advance, 3 months in advance, 1 year in advance to come and stay in downtown Dubai. So imagine you make all these plans, you pay the money, everything, and you take the money in advance. Obviously, you give them a great package. And now after taking the money, you can't tell these guys, I'm sorry, the rule has changed. We promised you you're going to stay in this posh locality. Now you'll stay in some dump of a hotel where we couldn't get a better deal for you. So, rightly stated, it's going to harm Dubai's image. It's going to harm Dubai's brand. Whenever you have a rule change, I would say give it a year, at least 1 year notice in advance. Here they are just giving 2 weeks notice in advance, and they expect rules to be implemented. I would say you're just shooting yourself in the fucking foot, and you're going to damage the reputation. As it is, Dubai has a reputation that they just conjure up laws and they just make up new rules and they fuck up everyone's happiness. So I would just say, just be careful. You're walking on eggshells. Next one, this one is Bloomberg. This is a video where the Nakheel chief, I think, commercial officer, Akhil Kazmi, he speaks about the government plans to set up a committee to balance property supply and demand. I find whatever he's saying, he's a well-articulated, very smart gentleman, obviously well-educated. But, this is my thinking. You have more houses than you need. You have much more to supply. And the demand is dwindling down. The demand is dying down. The market is moving into being cautious. People are not spending. So you can be the most smartest guy. You can come down from Harvard. You can be very well articulated, very intelligent. But people are not going to spend money. People are also smart. They're not dumb. So even though they try to put on a very smart, intelligent, impressive answer with this interview, obviously damage control. They want to make sure that UAE's image is kept good. You cannot control market factors. They are not under your control. And I would say that if Nakheel is talking about damage control, I'll give you checkmate. What about Palm Island 1, 2, 3? Only Palm Island 1 is done. 2 and 3 is not done. And you took money for it. What about waterfront? 750,000 houses, I remember. 750,000 houses in the water, villas. What happened to the world? The map of the world. You took billions, and millions from people. What happened to that? So you're not able to deliver all this, and you're still talking that you're going to control market demand and supply. It's like saying, I'm going to control the weather with my brains. I'm going to control the weather. Yeah, rubbish. Next one, again, UAE is inviting, I would say, trouble and making people really think. UAE, this one is Arabian business. It seems sin tax, not syntax, sin, like Adam and Eve committing sin, tax. They call sin tax when you, for those of you who don't know, sin tax is putting a tax on those items which people are addicted to, like alcohol, like cigarettes, stuff like that. Okay. So UAE cabinet has decided to increase a 50% tax on anything that is sweet. Okay. So anything that is sweeteners, anything that has sugar, anything that can be converted to a drink is going to have a 50% tax. So if you are paying $1, now it's going to be $1.50. I'm just giving an example. If it was $10, now it's going to be $15. So they're going to have 50% tax on any product that is sugar, sweeteners, or can be converted to a drink. And you'll have 100% tax. First they had only on cigarettes. Now you'll have on e-cigarettes, smoking devices, and liquids. So, what is the impact? What is the impact for manufacturers, distributors, retailers? They're going to mark up their prices. They're going to increase the cost. And this is going to impact the consumer. So if in case I had enough money to buy, let's say I had enough money to buy 10 cigarettes. Now, obviously, with that limited budget, I can buy only 5. So it's half. So consumption is going to be less. Products are not going to be sold. Costs are going to increase. It's going to affect demands. As per their study, what they felt is because of this tax increase, 50% of premium brands would lose sale or lose their market, being able to sell to the market, and 30% of cheaper mainstream brands. I look at it as now people are going to look at cheaper and viable options because obviously you're losing money. So how do you make money? End of the day, I just see as inflation going to hit UAE, consumption going to decrease, businesses are going to close down, people are going to lose jobs, and yes, it's going to shake up the entire economy. This is just a short-term solution for the government, but it's impacting the country in such a way that UAE is losing the attraction of being a tax-free country that it was to being, it's no more tax-free. They're taxing us, they're charging us, I'm still paying. So even though it can be a little cheaper than most of the countries, however, once you live there and you end up spending and you don't save anything, it negates the whole purpose of being in Dubai, because at the end of the day, you're never going to get citizenship, you're never going to have a future, you're just going to be a passing guest in that country. So this is as far as I see it. Now, this next piece of news is something that seems to be a trend or a cycle that's repeating itself. And it's not a very good thing. I remember this news happening, or a lot of people talking about it, especially when the property market crashed. People were just parking their vehicles at the airport and just running away, or, the government was realizing that all these cars are parked here. They've been here for a couple of months. Nobody's claiming them. What's happening? And they found out that the owners were either business owners or people who had taken credit cards or loans and just ran away from the country. So now the trend is repeating itself again. The national newspaper reports that more than 2,000 abandoned cars were towed, or 2,400 were dumped vehicles as a part of the drive to enhance the image of the Emirate. If you check my previous videos, I put up there was this massive area in Sharjah where cars from years and years were just left lying there. Luxury cars, Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royce, vintage cars, they're just left there, and the owners ran away. It's happening once again. And this is a clear indication that the market is moving towards recession. So if in case you're doing any business with anybody, you're giving them a loan, or you're giving them a credit, be careful. Most probably you may not get your money back And so that is why I tell people, do business, lower margins, but do it on cash. It seemed, 2,400 vehicles, not a joke. It just happened. I don't know whether they did it within this month. The funny bit was the fine print that came here. They said the owners of these abandoned cars now face 1,000 dirhams penalty. Well, given the fact that they ran away, how are you going to penalize them, or how are you going to fine them? So that's the stupid part. And another news that really leaves you kind of fearful and scared is the pending fee structure of many Indian students in the UAE. You see, because I lived in UAE for 40 years, I completed my education in one of the most pathetic third-class South Indian managed Indian schools. It was South Indian school. Now, I don't blame them because they were cheap. My parents sent me there because it was cheap. So obviously, you had teachers who were not qualified, or, not all. There were some really good ones. Some, I would just say a handful, 1, 2, 3, 4 really good people. The rest were just average, and many of them were just outright fucking assholes. People who I'd love to name and shame and wish the worst of the worst for physically abusing me, hitting me with rulers on my knuckles or my face with a ruler because I was mischievous, even putting pencils in between my fingers and squeezing them. Some of the motherfuckers who were there used to actually put me out in the sun. We are talking of 50 degrees heat, putting me out, making me stand outside in the humidity, in the sun. If they were to do it today, they would be slapped with violation of human rights or child abuse. But those days, there were no such rules. So they used to make me stand out because I was mischievous. And you just imagine, if there were 6 periods or 6 classes, each of 45 minutes, I was kept out for at least 4 or 5 of those classes. So I used to be out the whole day. And I never tell my parents because I was scared of them. My parents are another fucking assholes where parenting was concerned. So I was abused as a child, even in school, bullied by many of the school boys, which is normal. But the way the teachers treated me was not normal. So coming back to this news. So as it is, the schools are not up to the mark. As it is, the teachers are paid peanuts, real peanuts, cheap salaries. So obviously you get cheap quality teachers. Now, when you have that in the mix, you have schools charging them a bomb. They have to pay, like in this story, you had this family that had to pay 12,000 dirhams for 2 children for the current fees, including 6,500, which was not paid for the previous year. Plus, you had to pay 2,500 for books. Now, what happens is when you factor in books, the school bus, the tuition fees, that is for the school, then extra classes because the teachers don't teach or do their job well, and the children find it very hard to actually perform. So when you factor in all this, it becomes very hard for a family to manage. And the sad fact is, in this story, the father who had a business, it went bankrupt. The mother who had a job in a salon, she lost her job. So now the father is without a job, the mother is without a job. The children can't go to school. They have not paid rent. They hardly have money for water, electricity. They hardly have money to even make ends meet. And the shocking bit that I read in this article is they have not been to school for more than 3 years. Some of them 2 years, some of them 3 years. That's horrible. I mean, for those people who glamorize life in the Middle East and, life, this is what happens if your luck overturns. Now, I can understand why this guy is not leaving the country because I'm sure he has checks issued. I'm sure he has to pay people. So if he tries to exit the country, he's going to be jailed. And if he gets jailed, that's the end of it. He's not going to come out of prison. And then the mother wouldn't know what to do. So he's living hand to mouth, borrowing and just trying to rotate cash. So this is a disaster. This is a tragedy. And it's a real thing that is happening. So there are many people who have taken loans. Many people who have taken credit cards. Many people who are living on credit. And they are not able to make, ends meet. And now their children are not going to school. Just imagine that child, its future is going to be destroyed. That is why I created this survey. I put up a post inviting people to tell me Is the education really worth it? Is the expenses really worth it? Are you managing? Are you coping up? Or are there horror stories that you need to share? So let me know. My contact details are put down below. You can just Google search my name. You'll get my details. Get in touch with me. Send me the story. Your name will be anonymous. I think we need to create the awareness for people to know the reality of the situation. Okay. Also, this is not official. I still have to find the official word for it. You remember the Indian high school that I was speaking to you about, the Indian high school with the scandal of the CEO actually, having deals whereby he gets a benefit. He was publishing, his family was publishing books, forcing the children to buy these books, and they were making lots of money, and they were charging parents or their children school fees to make more money in terms of new uniforms and new books, all which are just recycled stuff. You cannot take someone else's hand-me-downs. So it seems, as per one message that I received, that he is actually been replaced. Now, I'm not sure about this. I don't know how far it's true. It seems that he's going through a lot of pressure because it's harming the brand image of the school. He's being replaced. They're bringing in a replacement. So let me know if this is true or not. And if I do get with evidence and it's made public, then obviously I'll share this information with you. So Indian High School, if you have any updates, let me know about it also. Also, if you have any stories with regards to the school you're sending your children to, if there is anything that people should know about, from the education quality to the education program to the way the children are being treated, or even to how you managing. If there's anything you want to share or voice out, please let me know. My details are put down below, my WhatsApp number, my email address, or you can just Google search Roy Machedo. You'll get all the information. Okay. Next one is, these are a bit of expatriate-based news. Gulf news, resident loses 100,000 dirhams to an ID scam call. Like I've given you a social, awareness message. It's banks will never ask for your data through email, through phone. They will never ever ask you. If you receive any email, if you receive any phone call, please go physically to the bank, meet up with the manager, and take everything in writing. Nobody's going to ask you as an email. Nobody's going to ask you over the phone. Nobody's going to ask you as a WhatsApp message. I have, many people did get in touch with me, sending me these emails, messages. Even I've received some where, before it was the Prince of Nigeria who wanted to wire 333 million or gold bars if I transferred some money. So I know many people who fell for this scam. Now it's, they send a link, you click on this link, put your password, and that's how they get your data. Please don't do it. These links contain viruses and Trojans and stuff that can infiltrate and get all your data, and your privacy can be compromised, and you can end up losing all your money. Okay, so please be careful. The next one is, this one was pretty odd. Iraqi tourists met up with this girl online who he thought at least was a girl, Swedish student, hot girl maybe, and he thought, student, I'm an Iraqi guy, I'm in my late 30s or 40s, and this young girl finds me very attractive or handsome. She wants to meet up with me. So he went to meet up with her, obviously, for romance, sex, or whatever. But it turned out to be 3 African women from Nigeria. And they were aged 30, 33, and 34. They must have been pretty strong because they beat the daylights out of him. And it seems like an idiot. He was carrying 57,000 dirhams. Almost, I think, $20,000 or less than that. No, sorry, $15,000. He was carrying cash with him. What a great genius. Going to meet someone unknown and taking loaded cash. So they beat him up, took the money, and he went to the police. The police caught these women for beating up this man. I don't know what these women were thinking, but they got caught. But the funny twist in the whole story is the man also got jailed. Why? Because he was soliciting sex from these girls. So he got them bamboozled, but he also got bamboozled. This is the problem with the Middle East or UAE or Muslim Arab countries. You complain about someone, and if you're breaking the rule, you also get fucked. So that is why many females or many males who have had sex or without marriage and then the other person blackmails them or keeps their passport or takes their money and you complain, you also fall into deep shit. So please keep this in mind. The next one is, employer, he promised this female a job. She came down to his office and he raped a 47-year-old Afghani businessman, forced himself on this Algerian female after luring her to sign the contract, and raped her. So that is why I tell people, if you're being offered a job and something that is amazingly attractive, most probably when something is too good to be true, it is always too good to be true. Then I found, I want you to check one of my videos. I'll put up the link. This is with, in terms of, most of the time I share with you posts that there's racism. There is racism in the UAE. But what kind of surprised me or what kind of shocked me was even Arab locals face racism. I never thought, Arab locals face racism. But in this, screenshot that I'm sharing with you, he has commented on a public platform. His name is Khalid, okay, because he has mentioned it publicly. He said, don't think only UAE and Oman are the less racist countries in the Middle East, especially when it comes to blacks. They are fine with them. That is why there are no black locals anyone's talking about. Loy may disagree, but in UAE and Oman, I will agree with you. Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, racists behave blacks and they treat local blacks. So the point he's trying to say is the locals, even in the locals, the Arab locals, the Emiratis or the Omanis or whatever, Saudis or Kuwaitis, it seems there is racism between white locals and dark-skinned locals. And one of them, even this is an Arabic name, I can't read out the name, Al-Taqir. I hope I got the name right. I'm not reading it properly. Okay. He says, have you ever seen any blacks in the higher government roles? Have you ever seen rulers marrying blacks? Do you know there's a group pick for a local magazine where they needed a female in front of the girls who were shy, but there was only one black girl. And it seems that because this black girl was there, they put her at the back. So it's pretty shocking to know. I want you to check out this, check out these comments which are there on my YouTube section. I mean, it's pretty surprising to know that there is racism even against Arab locals, even against Emirati. So if you're white skinned, in fact, he has a valid point that there are only, the Arab locals marry only white skinned females, or the Arab locals marry only fair skinned individuals. And in the government, there are only white skinned Arabs, white skinned Emiratis. This fascination for a white skin, even all over the Asian countries, India, even in Pakistan, even in Thailand, they want everyone to be fair-skinned, white. It's fair and lovely. I mean, they have creams to bleach their skin. There's so much of fascination. In fact, if you come down to Thailand, where I stay, they put this cream on their faces, or this stuff that they put on their face. They leave a coating of it where it looks like they've just plastered mud, even if they're working outside, to look white. And many of the females look deathly white, as if they are dying, as if blood has been drawn out of their body and they're dying. They look ghostly white. And there's so much of pride in looking white skin. So this is a really sad thing that there's so much of importance placed for white skin. Agreed that there are people who don't like, super black, or they don't like black. Yes. People have preference. There are some people who don't like Asian women, some people who don't like Asian men. I myself, have had only, I prefer, it's even though there's been a fascination for blonde women, but I've had all Asian girlfriends, most of them. Very rarely have I had Western girlfriends. I've never actually I had a dark-skinned girl. I've had a dark-skinned girlfriend, really black, but I've never had African women. So it's not that I'm being racist. It's just my preference. And there are a lot of African women who don't prefer Asian men, or there are a lot of African women who may not prefer, let's say, Caucasian or Mexican, whatever. So it's a preference. It's not racism. However, considering them ugly or not giving them an opportunity, that's wrong. That's really wrong. I may not like, or let's say, I may not be may not hang around with certain nationalities, or may not be comfortable with their beliefs, but that doesn't mean I treat them bad. It's all about understanding that there are a lot of cultures, a lot of religions, lots of kind of people. We have our own biases. We do. We are not perfect, but we need to treat them with respect and absolutely give them an opportunity where merit is concerned. So this is really sad. I'm not just making noise just for the hell of it, but I think it's really bad. Like, for example, my daughter, I'm not interested in making her look bleached white. Let her have a natural skin tone. Let her be, even my wife, I've told her, you don't need to put powder, don't need to put makeup, don't need to look anything to look fair. Look as you are. I'm pretty happy. So let me know what you think about local Emiratis facing racism, especially with the blacks. And yes, what I'm saying, is it right? If you see all the rulers, they have married only fair-skinned women. All the women, they keep showing fair-skinned men. There are never black-skinned or dark-skinned females or males who are being shown, even in ads, even in the decision-making process, even in the ruling family. So let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your thoughts. The next one is, now these are the fun bits of news which comes, these are the funny bits, okay? This one is, the headlines was, the Twitter is in shock because this man chose to stand up for 6 hours in a flight so that his wife could lie down on the seats. Now everyone was like, oh, so cute, so loving, he loves, this is called being a man, this is called being a real man. I just found this real fucking shit, okay? I found this really retarded because you have 4 seats. A person is sleeping there. What's the big deal of having the person's head on your lap? Or what's wrong of having the person's leg on your lap? There are 4 seats, man. It's like the fucking Titanic where Kate Winslet was on this raft and Leonardo DiCaprio was in the water and he was freezing. But even though there is space for another 2 people to be there, he chose to be in the water, freeze himself to death, and people are like, oh, how sad, oh, so romantic. I find it stupid, fucking retarded. For me, it shows the man doesn't use his fucking brains, and just because he wanted to have his moment, 15 minutes of fame, he put this. I consider this absolutely retarded, brainless, stupid, okay? That's what I feel. Let me know what you think. The next one is, this one is ratchfeed.com, and I checked the Facebook. This is actually true news. This is not fake news. This is real news. In Malaysia, this female, she's beautiful. Husband looks very attractive. She gets pregnant, and because she cannot take care of the husband, she actually decides to allow or encourage the husband to get another wife. So they are a very good-looking couple. The wife looks really beautiful. She's beautiful, the husband, and they get another woman. So it's 2 wives, 1 husband. I would just say, fucking lucky guy. 2 attractive women. And, well, I guess if they're happy, what's my problem? But for me personally, I would be like, I mean, how do you take care of 2 wives? You having sex with her and she knows you're having sex. Or do you have a threesome? Or do you know that, oh, he's having sex with her, let me leave them together. Tomorrow he'll come with me. I mean, how do you actually adjust? Yes, I know some of the Western people believe in this open love. I have sex with you, you have sex with me, and he has sex with her, and they exchange partners. Some of them can do that. For me, I'm like, oh, you don't touch my girlfriend, you don't touch my whatever. I don't know, at least that's me. But then again, let me know what you think. Do you think this is normal? Not normal? This is crazy? Whatever. But I guess it's allowed in Islam to marry 4 women, whatever. Anyway, coming to some of the funny bits, I thought first I'll share these 2 YouTube comments. I will come out with another YouTube video where I speak on all the comments because a lot of videos are pending. This one is I got from Mr. My Playlist. My Playlist says, Machedo means your dad's name. So he says, sorry bro, moreover your name sounds like a dog breed. I didn't know Machedo was a dog breed. So my response to him was, woof, bow wow, you know. So yeah, if Machedo is a dog breed, must be a really good one. Next one is relax and live life. He says in the comments, Are you running out of topics for your vlogs? Stick to Dubai or I'll unsubscribe. Oh, that's a threat. So I just responded to him, goodbye. Okay. Then what are the comments? Oh, these are the funny bits which I thought would be worth sharing with you. I'll just share them with you randomly. So the first one is, this was funny. So this is a charger for a phone. It says indicates fast charging while charging. Okay, indicates fast charging while charging. So Type C. So it's a Type C connector. So because he has put Type C there, you ended up with people, mostly Indians, they type C. They actually type C. So it's C, 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 C. So all of them have Type C, maybe thinking that they would get fast charging for their phone. So this happened in India. The next one is, this was put in used cars for sales in Dubai and Emirates. So this gentleman says, I need a car, but I don't have money. So if someone can give me their car for free, I'll be thankful. I don't know whether he's trolling people or he just put there for fun. Next one was, finally I got to use Face app. And can you believe Face app? I didn't know this, but I had purchased Face app when it had just launched. So I didn't know that. I just thought I'll check Face app today after all the controversy took place. So I purchased Face app when Face app had come out. And then after 1 or 2 years, the controversy came. And I just found out that I had purchased Face app because I had all the features for free. So I checked how my face looked like. So I put 40s, 60s, 80s, and 100s. This is how I like. And I did ask people, what did they think? Many people said, I look much better as I got older. Most of them felt I look much better in my 60s and 80s. Few said 40s, but almost nobody said I look attractive in my 100s. Well, I think 100s I look like a crumpled carpet. So this was my photograph. Really nice. The app really works out well. So it makes you look very crumply and oldie. So many people ask me, how would I look like when I become old? Anyway, next one is, this one I found pretty thought-provoking. It seems Hima Das won 5 gold medals. Then P. Sidhu, she's another female, she won a championship. Josie won a gold medal with an artificial foot. She has one leg which is not there. But it seems this female, Alia Bhatt, I don't know who this female is. I don't know what she has done. Maybe she's an actress, but she has won the award for the most inspiring Asian woman. So it's not sports athletes, it's not athletes who have dedicated their life, not even this girl with one artificial foot, but it's this pretty faced girl who's the most inspiring Asian woman. I have no idea what she has done. Let me know if you know what she has done. Okay. This one was pretty funny. This dark girl, like I said, she is not very attractive the way she is because she is maybe dark. That's what many people consider. She's using this phone with this app, and this is what she's become. And this is very common, at least in Thailand. That's what I've seen. Very dark females make sure that they lighten themselves to look very attractive. And nowadays, these phone apps, there are even apps that make you look beautiful. So this is what she has done. I don't know. What do you think about it? Do you think it's stupid or do you think it's smart? Next one is, this one was sent to me by Tinder. It seems I'm interested to have a threesome with my husband. Pinoy only interested. Swipe right. It's a Kabayan. Kabayan means country fellow person. She is 32, 19 kilometers away from the person who sent me. Looking for an open-minded single Pinoy to join my husband. I and a threesome fantasy adventure. I'm 29. My husband's 31. What a nice, loving wife. Okay, they have some nice kinky stuff. This one was shared by my friend who is Ali Hassan Zaidi. He is my friend on Facebook. Really nice guy, amazing gentleman. I like this chap because he always puts balanced views online. And he's not one of those extreme nationalists. You speak anything of my country, I'm going to put it down. But he put something thought-provoking. He put Google CEO is an Indian, Nokia CEO is an Indian, Adobe CEO is an Indian, Amazon's BOD is Indian, MasterCard CEO is Indian, Microsoft CEO is Indian, PepsiCo's CEO is Indian. NASA has 58% of their employees Indians. Pakistan's income is approximately $1 billion a year, while India earns approximately $142 billion. So the point he's trying to make is, why is it that Pakistan cannot produce so much of talent, even though Pakistan is... Mind you, I have some really good friends from Pakistan who are very intelligent, who are very smart, who are really out there. Especially Sabah Sikandar, she is a friend of mine on Facebook. I've not met her, but she is this young girl who comes out on media, who comes out, she does a lot of humanitarian work, a lot of charity work. She is very, very intelligent, very, very smart, and she's very incredibly beautiful. Young girl. She's a Pakistani, and she's doing so much for the community, so much for charity. She's Pakistani. So I would say there is this new breed of Pakistani youngsters who are coming out, very intelligent. I think they should be given support by the government. They should be given an opportunity to be trained, a chance in the global arena, because I think, forget the nationality, I think when you have talent, when you have merit, when you have someone really willing to work hard, they should be given an opportunity to stand on the global stage. So Ali Hassan Zaidi, it shows his character. It shows that he's not afraid of praising even what in politics is supposed to be an enemy. I have a lot of respect for a guy like this, and I think he shows what future leaders should be like and what they should think like. He never asked me this. I saw him post this on his Facebook. I have nothing but respect for Ali Hassan Zaidi, and I'm proud to be his friend. Next one was a guy asked me, Loy, I'm looking for a Thai girl, someone who really loved me, even if I have no money, nothing. So I sent him this photograph of this girl. I don't know if she's Thai, but since he wanted someone who would love him, even if he's boy, I said, this girl would definitely love you. And he unsubscribed from me, blocked me. Next one is, one guy asked me, Loy, where are the hot females? So I send this image of these females, including this and this. I send, these are really hot females, really, really hot females. And I said, are you enjoying looking at all these females? He said, yes. And then I let him know that all these females who I send you these images, well, these are lady boys. These are lady boys. That means they are guys, dudes who have gone through surgery and they're looking for love. So in the end, they are escorts. So you just don't have to believe me. Just Google search lady boy escorts and you'll find this. Some lady boys are more attractive than women. And it's really scary when you look at it. It's like, wow, they can look so attractive. So, well, go figure. Next one, which I thought I'd share with you. This one was shared to me by someone who knows me, and he knows that I was working for this. The reason I'm sharing with you is because it says here, Unique World Educational Campus. It has given the date, it has given the time, entry is free, it has given the contact details. It says future business, future jobs, presented by this personality whose name I don't want to mention. He's the founder and chairman of Mission 3G, IIT Madras Research Park, humanitarian educationalist, serial entrepreneur, and strong advocate of technological singularity, very big, big terms, and recipient of Harvard University. Harvard. Okay. It's amazing what you can do if you have a little bit of money. Race award. So this gentleman is doctor. I personally know him because I worked for him. He's not a doctor. He has purchased this fake degree through money. He purchased this nice little Harvard degree, and he's giving a seminar on artificial intelligence and the age of era disruption, on robotics in Dubai, in association with this company. So why I found this funny is because I know him personally. I've worked with him. He purchases degrees. He supplies fake degrees. He is into a lot of illegal stuff. And he is now into helping people migrate to Canada and Europe with fake documentation. So it just goes to show you, in Dubai, if you have money and you're uneducated and you have a fake degree and you're a fake doctor, you can hold seminars, you can fool the public and get away with it, and nobody will fucking bother. Well, anyway, this is the power of money. Okay, coming up next is someone said to me, oh, Loy, eat your heart out. Salma Hayek, she's so hot. Oh, she's so hot, Salma Hayek. And then Jennifer Lopez, oh, she's so hot. So I was like, wow, what natural assets. I'm pretty sure these are very, very natural. Very natural. So one is 50 years old and one is 50-something, 53. Are they natural? Let me know. What do you think? Do you think they are natural? Well, I would definitely say it doesn't look very natural to me, but I don't mind looking at it. Next, bit of funny news. It seems a new committee has been formed. A new committee, UAE government, to monitor social media content. It's like as if you're just doing it now. You have been doing this from ages. If you actually check Mansour, who is a UAE activist, He was arrested in 2000 because of something that he put in 2011. So UAE has been doing it since social media was launched, since internet was out there. They've been monitoring. The reason why they're putting this news now is just to create a little bit of fear so that you don't post anything. They cannot arrest the entire nation. They cannot arrest 7 million people or all the expats. They're just using this as a scare tactic. You can't stop social media. Next one is, this one I found was pretty funny. I found this online. IJ Shetty keyboard. It seems Control C and Control V. That sign is Control C and Control V. So Jay Shetty, who is supposed to be this inspirational, motivational guru, was, if you Google search, you'll find out that he has been copying other people's quotes and putting his own name. So people have been assuming he's so wise, he's so smart, he's a monk. Anyone can be a monk and claim he's a monk. The funny thing is, Nicole Harbour, she has put up this video where he claims to be a monk when he's actually wearing a hoodie and an orange shirt, and he's claiming to be a monk, and people fall for this bullshit. So, so this was pretty funny because it's an Apple ad that says, why think different when you don't have to? So they've copied an Apple ad and put Jay Shetty's name, and this is what he has been doing. I'm not a big fan of his. He's very, I don't know, he's just like, someone's putting their claws on a board. It's just so like, yuck. So he talks about you love, and he's a starry-eyed boy, and he's talking of love, and he's giving all this guru dakshina and giving this advice. You can do it, believe in yourself. And he is obviously charging money. He's not going to do this for free, but people fall for all this bullshit. They want this sweet-sounding, encouraging stuff, so they go to him more about love and all that. But anyway, I just found this funny. I'm not a big fan of it. Sorry. At least that's me. I got this, which I put it on my Instagram. My Facebook feed is always filled with this interesting stuff. So here it says in TikTok, guys, if you want a night out, I can arrange with she. They put this beautiful girl, and then they put a nice photo of, just let me know. Oh, so sweet and nice. So she has put this nice video where she's having bath in the shower, and you can arrange a nice date with her. So I don't know what services she provides, but I'm sure she keeps a lot of people happy. So this was one of them. Oh, and by the way, I found this new chic woman. So this was an AdWord sponsored ad on my newsfeed. So elephant-shaped workout boxer for girls. So if any one of you want this, I don't know what kind of girls wear this. So this is the new trending, and this was actually featured on my Facebook feed. So I let Facebook know I'm not interested in this elephant-shaped workout boxer. Another one, this was in Thailand. Someone sent it to me. No boom boom in the bathroom. Well, this was definitely funny. And last but not the least, it seems the market has to incorporate new changes. I don't know whether this is photoshopped or whether this is real, but it seems sleep with me, free breakfast. And she also says, welcome small dick. So she welcomes. There was another one where fuck now, pay later. So that was also pretty funny. So anyway, these were the updates which I thought of sharing with you. Let me know, what did you think of them? Do you think it was good? It was not good? Please go through the channel. There are a couple of surveys that I put, which of course I would like to share the results finally in the end. Put a couple of questions whether education is important, whether today's generation is smart enough. What do you think of it? Just yes, no. So check out in YouTube, go to the community and put your votes and put your comments. The best ones I will feature and let you know. So like I said, this is me signing off for now. If you have anything, get in touch with me. My details are put down below. This is me saying ta-da for now. Bye.